Samson is one of the most iconic figures in the Bible, known for his incredible strength and tragic story. He's a hero who has captured the imagination of people for centuries, and his story continues to inspire and teach us valuable lessons today. Samson was a complex figure, struggling with temptation and betrayal throughout his life. Despite being a Nazarite, dedicated to God from birth, he often found himself at the mercy of his own desires and the manipulations of those around him. His struggles with the Philistines, who ruled over Israel during his time, were legendary, but so were his internal battles. He knew he was set apart for a special purpose, but he often failed to live up to his own standards. He was also prone to impulsive decisions, which often led him into trouble. His encounters with the Philistines were marked by bursts of rage and violence, followed by periods of calm and even romance. But beneath the surface, Samson was torn between his desire for revenge and his own sense of morality. He knew that his actions often fell short of God's expectations, but he couldn't seem to break free from the cycle of violence and sin. Despite his flaws, Samson remained committed to his people and his God. Continued to fight against the Philistines, using his incredible strength to protect Israel and assert his dominance over their enemies. But his greatest struggle was yet to come, one that would test his resolve and ultimately lead to his downfall. Samson's life was marked by incredible feats of strength, from slaying a lion with his bare hands to toppling a pagan temple. But his greatest achievement was also his greatest weakness: his vow as a Nazarite. This vow set him apart as a holy warrior dedicated to God's service, but it also made him vulnerable to the schemes of his enemies. Delilah, the Philistine woman who would eventually betray him, exploited his vulnerability, tempting him to reveal the secret of his strength. Samson's story is full of dramatic twists and turns, but none is more pivotal than his betrayal by Delilah. She persuaded him to reveal the secret of his strength, and the Philistines seized the opportunity to capture him. Samson, once the strongest man in Israel, was now blinded and humiliated, forced to grind grain like an animal. It was a tragic fall from grace, one that would haunt him for the rest of his life. As we explore the events leading up to Samson's capture, we're struck by the depth of his emotions. He was a man torn between his own desires and his commitment to God. He knew he was responsible for his own downfall, but he couldn't help but feel the sting of betrayal. Delilah's treachery was a bitter pill to swallow, and it would take Samson to the depths of despair. But even in his darkest moment, Samson found redemption. He prayed to God for one final act of strength, and his prayer was answered. Final burst of fury, Samson brought down the temple, destroying his enemies and himself in the process. It was a tragic ending to a turbulent life, but one that underscored the power of faith and redemption. Samson's life teaches us valuable lessons about the nature of strength and weakness. We're reminded that even the strongest among us can fall prey to our own desires and weaknesses. But we're also shown that redemption is always possible, no matter how far we've fallen. Samson's story is a powerful reminder of the human condition, one that continues to inspire and challenge us to this day. What do you think about Samson's story? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if you want to learn more about biblical heroes, be sure to check out our next video.